Good evening. Some birds just flew over there. I've been watching the cows today. They were on that hill in front of me, which you can't see, and they walked down and now they're walking across, and it's a very therapeutic sight. I love cows. They're lovely animals, lovely creatures. I wanted to tell you a little story today about how once I drowned in the shallow end. I mean, that sounds a bit dramatic. I didn't properly drown. I mean that it felt like I was drowning. I've always been a confident swimmer, but when I was a child, I went swimming with one of my friends, and I use the term friend loosely. I think my mum and his mum were friends, and we all went swimming together. And we were by the shallow end, and while we were friends, I was also very aware that this other lad who was with me was quite boisterous and naughty at school. He wasn't very well behaved. And I was stood next to the shallow end, and out of nowhere he pushed me into the shallow end. And I remember being underwater, bubbles everywhere, thrashing around, completely stunned and confused as to what had just happened. I was in complete shock. I didn't expect him to push me into the shallow end. And for a few moments I was drowning. I didn't know which way was up. My legs, my arms were thrashing all around. I just remember my vision was obscured by all the bubbles and the mess, the noise. I was discombobulated in every word, in every means of the word. I didn't know what to do until, luckily, after some time, which was probably only a few seconds but felt like a lifetime, I realized all I needed to do was stand up. So I did. I was kicking and I felt the bottom and I managed to stand up. But it was the shock of it that caused me to essentially drown for a few moments. And this can often be the case in life. There's many things that shock us that aren't how we thought they were going to be. Whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a new job opportunity, owning a house, doing certain things, being around certain people, life itself generally. Whatever it may be, there's certain things that we don't expect. There's certain things that shock us. There's certain things that scare us. There's certain things that don't work in the way that we thought they did. And as a result, we drown in the shallow end. Just like I did. We thrash, we scream, we cry, we long for help. We long for someone to reach in and pull us out. But sometimes in life, it's the simplest answer that is the most useful answer. And that answer is simply standing up, learning to stand up again, learning to stand on your own 2 feet. You know, when we're a child and we're trying to learn how to walk, we fall down and our parents pick us back up. We fall down, our parents pick us back up. But eventually we realize that we can stand up ourselves. We can get up again. We fall, we get up again. And honestly, life is very much about falling over 20 times and standing up 21 times. And it's difficult, it's hard. And a lot of people allow it to crush them, allow it to ruin their lives. But if you can keep getting up, just like I did in the shallow end, that's how you stop drowning. You can't escape the waters of life. You're always going to be in that vast ocean of wonder and mystery and confusion. But you don't have to drown. You can stand up. You're strong enough. You've done it many times in many different areas of life. You can do it with this one as well. The one that you're struggling with right now, you can. It's liberating to take on that responsibility. When I thought I was drowning in the shallow end, the answer was simple. Stand up, George. Sometimes in life, the answer can be as simple as saying no. Sometimes the answer can be as simple as saying yes. As scary as that might sound. Yes, let's do it. Yes, I'm up for it. It scares me. Maybe you don't need to know that. It scares me. But yes, let's do it. Maybe it's saying not today. Ask me again next week. Simple solutions. You know, I used to be, and still am, one of those people who, you might be able to relate to this. If I set my alarm for 6:30 in the morning, I actually get up at 7. I set my alarm and I snooze for 10 minutes. I wake up and I still don't quite feel like getting up. I'm having a dream about being sat on a hilltop filming a video, so I go back to sleep. And then it goes off again, and I do the same thing, and it gets to about 7 o'clock, and I say, right, I'm actually going to get up now, and I do. And I always liked it. I always liked my alarm going off and getting all cozy under the covers again and thinking, do you know what, I'm not getting up yet, snooze. But I used to beat myself up about it all the time until it felt like I was drowning in this never-ending ocean of frustration. Why can't I just get up at 6:30? Why can't I just get up when my alarm goes off? Why do I always have to wait until 7 o'clock? Do you know what the solution was to that? It was so simple. I stopped beating myself up for it and embraced it. I just said, this is me. This is what I do. If I need to be out of bed by 7 a.m., my alarm's going off at 6:30 because I like snoozing a couple of times for 15 minutes. Sometimes I might snooze once, then get out of bed at 6:45. Great, I've got an extra 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll go all the way until 7. Sometimes I'll get out of bed right at 6:30 because I feel very fresh and ready to start my day. It's more abnormal than normal to wake up and spring out of bed. That's abnormal. No animal out here in nature does that. They don't spring out of bed. Do you have a dog? I do. When I wake him up or he wakes up, oh, he's so slow at getting up. Big yawns, moves around slowly. After a few steps, goes back to sleep for a while, wakes up again, few slow steps. We've got this false illusion in life that everything has to be simple, easy, and fast pace, but it doesn't have to be. And solutions are simple. Many of our solutions to life struggles are simple. For me, getting out of bed in the morning, it was a case of embracing it. I'm not going to change. I don't want to change. There's no point. I'm fine as I am. I'm not hurting anyone in the process. I'm not hurting others. I'm not hurting myself. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Now, of course, this wouldn't be the case if, say, I was waking up so late that I was always late to work. That's a problem. That's an issue. That's something I've got to sort out. Absolutely. But the solution would be simple. Set your alarm earlier. If you're always tired, the solution is get more sleep, find more peace in your life. Focus on your mental health, your emotional health, etc. Many of our solutions to life are simple. Humans love to overcomplicate life. I've been guilty for it myself. But just like drowning in the shallow end, the solution can simply be standing up. And many of us feel like we're drowning in life. But the reality is, if we can be strong, if we can find our feet and find the floor, we are more than capable of standing up. I believe in you. But do you believe in yourself? Because that's the ultimate question here. I wish you the best of luck with everything. You've got to stay strong. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope this helped you in some way and perhaps gave you a bit of perspective. Please like the video if you learned something today. Comment below if you'd like to add to the conversation. Subscribe if you're new. I make a couple of videos like this every single week. And I make 5 shorts every week, Monday to Friday. Just a quick 20-second video to provide you with some positivity and a comforting reminder about your day. I think I'm going to stay here for a bit longer. It is so peaceful out here. In fact, nature is often the solution to everything in my life. If I'm stressed, it doesn't matter what the stress is, it matters what the solution to the stress is. And the solution to the stress is nature. It's not the stress itself, right? Like, it's not the stress that's the problem. I don't need to get rid of the thing that's causing me stress. I just need to get out in nature, which removes the stress. Because so many of our stresses are unavoidable. We've got to go through them. It's what life's about. God bless. Thank you for watching.